RT.
Attention please. Send her collie to the nurse's station. Send her collie to the nurse's station. Thank you.
Yeah, I can never get a damn second to do anything because I'm always getting called out. Send her collie to the nurse's station. Send her collie to the nurse every freaking time. God, spit him up.
Boyfayakaba to think it's been 10 months since I cancelled my health insurance since I'm covered under Care. Cinder 7 flops, Cinder 7 flops, Cinder 7 flops, Cinder 7 flops, Cinder 7 flop.
Okay. Beta Pop coming in with the whatever that was that we were continuing from yesterday, I guess. Beta Pop with the 10 freaking months, Beta Pop. Beta Pop, thank you. 10 months, I got you covered under Care from the Alpha to the Omega, you're covered. Also Laughing coming in with the tier 1 sub for 3 freaking months, Laughing, you big spooky yeen. Thanks for the 3 months, Laughing. I got you covered under Care from the Yeen spots to the Choco Chips. I got you covered, kinda, I don't know, maybe. Vero Protogen, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the Floppy Flock. Welcome in. Neil the Tiger Fox, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the Floppy Flock. Welcome in. Supreme Plasma. Thanks for the follow. Welcome to the Floppy Flock. Welcome in. Guys, hi. Hi. Laughing, I see you. Zeke Fox, Rick DeFoyo, Banzalot, Zlifferblade, Mika. Hi, Mika. Yuma Capital Bull, DC Flash, Hyena Culture, Fox Guy. Welcome in, guys. What's up? Bandy Warp. I see you. I see you, Maiden Voyager. I see you too. Cerulean. Cerulean, I'm on to you today. Keeping my eye on you today, Cerulean. Got my eye on you. I'm gonna watch you. Guys, I got coffee. And I'm not working today, so you know what that means? It means it's a good day.
Oh, would come at me, Collie.
Why does it cut it short? It's like, oh. Cerulean got coming in with the 50 bits, making Tux dance. Look at that werewolf. USDA Prime, thanks for the bits. I appreciate it. Dorky Wolf, hey. What's up? I don't know. What's up with you? 2 days until I'm 10 months of Cinder Collie. Soon, Mika, soon. You got that? Wait. Hold on. How did Beta Pup not get a founder's badge? How did that work? Beta Pup, I'm sorry. I can't give you the founder's badge. If I could, I would. I'm sorry. Helix Fox with the 1 bit. You gotta get. You gotta give more. 10, at least 10. Tux doesn't dance for single digit bits. He's kind of an expensive werewolf. I have a small question to everyone. Do you like satirical newspapers? You mean like The Onion? Yeah, every once in a while, it's okay.
Brave Fair Cabba had to hear that again.
What is that? I'm so easily amused. I'm so easily amused by text-to-speech, and it's just weird. Oh, God. Mr. Wolfric, thanks for the follow. Welcome to Fabi Flock. Welcome in.
Tux may be USDA Prime, but Cinder is USDA Choice Cut.
Wait, which is better? Is Choice Cut better? Cerulean, thanks for the 10 bits. I appreciate it. Thanks for calling me Choice Cut, which I think is better. I don't know, maybe. I hope so. Although I gotta admit, Tux is probably better than I am. Tux is pretty damn awesome. I mean, any boyfriend that's gonna bring you donuts and coffee, unprovoked, I mean, that's like an A in my book. Affiliate has 10 founders badge, partners have 25. So if you get partner, you can give 15 more out. Ooh. The big if there being if I get partner. If I get partner, I don't know. I just want the emotes, that's all. Magnus! Magnus! Hi, Magnus. Magnus, hi. Hi, Magnus. I see you. Prime is better. USDA Prime is better. Okay, you know, I'm okay with that. Tux gets to be better. He's the USDA Prime, because Prime is better.
We don't need no stinking badges.
We don't need no stinking badges, but you're gonna get them anyways if I get it. Maybe. Broster coming with the 100 bits, making Tux dance. Thanks for the bits, Broster. You're so generous with your support for the stream. Seriously. Thank you, Broster. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Lens, thanks for the host. Shazbot. Shazbot to you too. So guys, today, we got some exciting stuff today. Exciting stuff. We're gonna do, we're gonna talk about diseases of the lung. So just like yesterday, how we talked about diseases of the heart, this time, we're gonna talk about the lungs. So diseases with breathing, right? COPD, asthma, bronchitis, pneumonia, all the fun stuff, right? And then, we're gonna play the Turing test. A new game, finally. After we just got done with the emotional roller coaster that was Superliminal, which was fun. It was fun. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it quite a bit. Did you ever wake up? Yes, we did wake up. It was all a dream the whole time, and it made us, the moral of the story was like, look at problems from different perspectives to help keep your mind fresh and keep the existential dread away. Because it's always there, creeping in the back of your head. You just gotta repress it. Just a little longer, just until next week. And then next week, you could say until the next week. And then you just keep suppressing that existential dread until eventually it consumes you whole. But hey, the game was fun. After a while, my billion heartbeats will be over. Eventually it will, yes. I hate to tell you guys this. We all gonna die. Some of us are dying a little bit quicker than others. But it's gonna happen eventually. So get the most out of life and enjoy it. Whiskey is the best medicine for existential dread. I prefer gin. Seems to do the job. Hurry. Hurry, don't let it set in. Don't let the dread set in, hurry. Fight it. Fight it. Don't let it set in. Don't let it set in. Stop it. You're letting it set in. I see you. Stop. That is part of my day is when you stream and I have to go to work. No. Well, you can catch the VOD tonight. I'll post it on YouTube. I've been posting them all on YouTube, so watch it tonight. When you get off work, it'll be a nice little treat when you get off work. So yes, today's lecture, we're talking about the lunges again. Those giant sacks of air. We're gonna talk about those again, and the diseases with it. So we recently had a lecture where we talked about the how like lung pathophys, right? Like how the lungs work and how you breathe, right? With diffusion and bulk flow and the alveoli and the bronchioles, right? We talked about all that. I'll do a quick refresher of it, but I'm not going to go into it like I did last time. And then now we're going to talk about what happens when things go wrong. Maybe try to shed some light on some words you've heard, such as pneumonia. What is pneumonia? You know, I'll talk about that. COPD, that kind of thing.
Stream
DJ Dragon
baby.
coming with the tier 1 sub for 9 months. Dude, I'm not a father. It's not me. I'm not the father. Maury said so.
A lung disease lecture? Don't choke on your words.
Boo! Boo! Okay, that was actually pretty good. DJ Dragon coming out with the 9 months. Dude, DJ Dragon, you're covered under colic here. From the dragon horns to the big stompies. I got you covered. Thanks for the stream, baby. I don't want it. You can keep it. You could file for child support. I'll pay it. I don't want it though. I'm not a daddy.
Woohoo! Shotspot!
Elix, thanks for the 10 bits. And the bad pun. Nothing like some good coffee before starting stream.
Woohoo!
Spyro!
Shut
Spyro
up.
Blades Gamer, hey! Who is that cute? Who asked that? Silverfall. That is, so here, let me pop back in there. That is my alternate character. His name is Biscuit. He's my Ram character. I don't really use him that much, but I found a reason to use him, so I did. And he hurt his head because he's a ram and he rams into things. You know, it makes sense. Right? Yeah, that makes sense, right? I hope. What's the baby's name? I don't know. Why don't you ask DJ? It's their baby, not mine. I ain't no daddy. It's my White Fox. Hey, what's up? Jason, no. Stop messing with the flops. I did not consent to flops. They're mine. Oh God, Cerulean.
Here comes another earthquake.
Cerulean, thanks for the 50 bits. Oh God, it'll never not make me laugh. It's like that, what is it, Moonbase Alpha, right? The Moonbase Alpha video, that video cracked me up the first time I saw it. I couldn't breathe. I was laughing so hard. Who's the guy in the cast? That's Tux. My boyfriend Tux. He's a werewolf. That's Tux, the same one who's dancing right now on the screen.
Unga bunga.
Unga bunga. Big Fox, thanks for 10 bits. Mission breaks in there with laughter. No, please. The more you do it, the less funny it's going to become. You know that, right? Wait, what happened to my music? Oh, it's just starting a new song. John Madden. John Madden. John Madden football. What a good, what a good video. Me and my friends tried playing that game after seeing that video, and it was just a hot mess. Moonbase Alpha is just a hot damn mess. You're not late for class. Yes, you made it in time. This time. Next time, though, getting in trouble. Is Tux a snack? More like I'm the snack, and he's the snacker? Maybe? How's that work? Rick, thanks for the bit. Why is Gary Oak such a butt? I don't know.
Shotspot!
Because Frisbee sticker ball. Ball. I like the ball best. You have a ball? You have a ball? Can you give it to me? Please? Can you give me the ball? Please? Please? I've been a good boy. Please? Please? Ball? Ball? You better have one. You better not be lying, and you better not do that fake throw thing where you pretend to throw it and I just like lose my shit, and then you never actually threw it. I'm on to you. Alright. Real quick, I'm gonna give myself a little bit more coffee, because I want some more, and then we'll teach. Okay, hold on. 1 second, I'll be right back. I'm gonna get some coffee. Right back. Coffee. I'm impressed that it picks my face away. Picks up my face from all the way over there. Do not burn the chat, Rick. I caught you. Nice try. Trying to burn down my chat? I don't think so. This is the state of the art emergency department. You think we don't have fire suppression in here?
How about I fake throw the ball and by the time you realize I didn't throw it, I've thrown it in the other direction?
It's deceitful. It's disingenuous. Just throw the ball the first time. God, it's not that hard. And then you wonder why everybody gets upset when they're like, oh, why are dogs always like, no take, only throw? Because you deceive us with your fake throws. That is why. It's a trust issue. Thanks for the 25 bits. Cerulean. All right. Coffee beans, give them. Give. I want them coffee beans. You guys ever have chocolate covered espresso beans? So good. Oh, so good. Love them. I'm ready to learn about stuff I'll likely never need. Well, you know what? It's still good information to know how your body works. I want the ball. Yes, I want the ball, please. Please. Alright, guys. You know what time it is? Time to sit down. It's time to shut up. It's time to put that ass in that chair because it's time for class. No eating in my classroom or else I'll embarrass you in front of the whole class. If you're late, I'm gonna call your parents. And I'm gonna leave a nasty voicemail on their phones. And then you're gonna get grounded for being late. Hope you're ready to learn. Also, my tablet should come in today. It's supposed to come between like 3 and 6 o'clock. So I'll have it for tomorrow, ideally. Go fetch, yes! Haha! Let me go get that ball, hold on. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go grab that ball. Hold on, guys. I'll be right back. Alright, I got it. Alright. So, today, we're gonna talk about the lunges again. So yesterday we talked about heart disease and all the different, or not all of them, but a good number of the diseases of the heart, right? Some more common than others, some I just liked because I thought it was fun. Yo-tastic! Meowtastic DJ coming in with a rate of 2. Meowtastic. Hey, thanks for blasting my ears full of wonderful Andrew WK. And thanks for sharing your community with mine. What's up? Just in time for class. Just in time. Alright. This is the last day. You guys get to deal with my horrible mouse handwriting. Are you guys happy that after today you finally will get to see my actual handwriting and not the handwriting that I use with a mouse? And then you're gonna be disappointed when my actual handwriting is pretty much just as bad, except I have more control over it. Okay, so let's do a quick refresher on how the lungs work. We're going to be focusing on 2 different areas today. Or rather, three different types of, well, actually 4. But there's different ways that lung disease affects the lungs, right? We'll talk about it in a second. So, long story short, when you take a deep breath in, you breathe out. Air comes in down through your trachea, breaks off into the 2 main bronchus, your right and your left main bronchus, and then that air continues to break off into different branches called bronchioles, right, in both sides of your lungs, until they hit what we call the alveoli. The alveoli are giant sacs, grape-like sac structures, right? They look like grapes, that fill up with air and have capillaries surrounding them. This is where air or gas exchange happens. So as the air sits in that big sac, right, that big sac of air, CO2 diffuses out of the blood and oxygen diffuses in. This is how we breathe. Without this, we would die. All right? That is the basic function of the lungs. Air comes in, fills up the alveoli expand, taking in air. When they are full of air, diffusion can occur, oxygen can go into the blood, and CO2 can come out. Any questions about that before we move on? We did a whole lecture on this. So this is just basic. Quick review. All right. Air comes in, branches off into the bronchi or the bronchus and the bronchi, eventually meeting down at the alveoli, which are sacs that fill up with the air that you breathe in, where gas exchange can then occur with the blood. All right. All right. We're going to talk about a couple different ways that lung disease affects your lung. Okay. You have. I'm just gonna say Lee. Lee, thanks for the follow. Welcome to Floppy Flock. Welcome in. There are a couple different. There's four different things that we're gonna look at, right? 4 different categories, right? You're gonna have restrictive, obstructive, you're gonna have like gas exchange issues. And then you're going to have circulatory issues. All right. These are going to be like the 4 main types of problems that you're going to have with the lungs. Okay. Restrictive, the way restrictive lung disease works is you have something that is causing the lung to shrivel up or not be as thick, right? So say this is now your new lung over here. Restrictive disease, you're going to miss out on all of this extra space within the lung because the lung is either getting pressure from the outside or some kind of scar tissue is formed and it prevents the lung from expanding. Okay, that is going to be a restrictive issue, right? An obstructive issue is going to be an issue with retention where you have obstructions that are preventing you from being able to breathe out, to exhale. And what happens is you get like almost an overinflated lung, right? We now have all this extra air in here that gets stuck and can't get out, okay? So you have restrictive, which is pressing on, obstructive, which is going to be preventing air from coming out. And then you're going to have issues with the alveoli, where you're going to say have an issue where you get some fluid buildup in here, right? So now you can't have gas exchange with the capillaries because fluid has built up in the alveoli and prevents gas exchange from happening. All right, that's going to be your gas exchange issues. Oh God! And then finally, the last issue that you're going to have is a circulatory issue where you have an interruption of circulation to the blood or circulation to these alveoli, say with like a clot or something, that affects the ability of the blood to carry the oxygen that it receives. Those are going to be the 4 categories that we're going to talk about today: restrictive, obstructive, gas exchange issues, and circulatory issues. Okay? You've been breathing through your butt this whole time. Is that bad? Yes. Your butt does not... That doesn't work that way. All right. Let's start with the most common type of lung issues, which is obstructive lung issues. Who's got asthma? Put a 1 in the chat if you have asthma. Hazarino! Hi, Haz! Hi! Hi! We'll talk about chest tubes. Only when exercising. So asthma, what happens in asthma? So there's gonna be a lot of similarities between a lot of these diseases, and the difference in these diseases is usually going to be the cause of it, right? So for example, asthma, bronchitis, chronic bronchitis, these are all going to have narrowing of the airways, right? Cystic fibrosis, you're going to have a narrowing of the airways. The cause of that narrowing is usually what determines the diagnosis. So in asthma's example, here we have our asthma, right? So on the left side here, you see a normal lung, and this is going to be your airway. So this is going to be an issue with the airway, right? Not with gas exchange, but it's going to be an issue with moving air. It's an obstructive issue, right? So this is, say, a normal bronchial, right? Nice and open. When you have asthma, some kind of irritant, usually some kind of environmental trigger, some kind of allergen, right? Or environmental trigger such as like pollen, right? Dust, that kind of thing. Are going to cause your bronchioles to inflame. Remember when we talked about allergic reactions, right? Kind of that process of histamine being released causing inflammation, which causes swelling, right? Well, people with asthma can have this triggered by environmental allergens, right? That cause this inflammation of the bronchioles. So if you can just see, look at the size and difference in the lumens between these two, right? And you can see why it becomes hard to breathe, because everything starts to swell up and tighten, right? This can be caused by like pollution, right? Dander, cat dander, dog dander, right? Like, you know, just normal allergies that can cause this. It can also just be unprovoked or stress related as well, right? His bronchial tubes are coming off his shoulders. I know. Just bear with me for a second, okay? So essentially what happens is you have inflammation in the airway that begins to constrict on the airway, and it makes it harder to breathe, right? You have an obstruction of airway, an obstruction of the ability of the air to move through, right? It is either being shunted through, you either can't get enough air in or you cannot get enough air out, right? Some of the side effects from this, or some of the symptoms rather, wheezing, right? Shortness of breath, off, right? All the things you would generally associate with like a asthma attack, right? If it becomes severe enough, you go into what we call what is it, status asthmaticus, which is like a severe asthma attack in which we treat you with steroids and medications, sometimes even epinephrine. Treatment for this, your bronchodilators. If you have a rescue inhaler and you look at the medication name, I bet you about 99% of you guys are going to have some form of albuterol, which is a bronchodilator. Okay, it opens up the airway. You breathe it in and it relaxes this inflammation and opens up the airway. It dilates the bronchioles, right? Bronchodilator. It says it right on its name. We can also give steroids as well. Steroids help reduce inflammation. So if we can give you steroids, we can help back down some of this inflammation, right? We'll talk about COPD. Roaster, we'll get there. My sister and I all grew up with asthma. I'm the only one who grew out of it because I don't smoke. Yeah, smoking will make this worse, and then we'll talk about what happens with smoking when we get to COPD. All right? Asthma is pretty straightforward. Some kind of trigger, some kind of environmental trigger, whether it be an allergen or dust or something, causes inflammation in the bronchioles, which causes a restriction of the airway, which obstructs airflow through the lungs. All right? So this is an obstructive issue, right? Bronchitis. Ooh, excuse me. Bronchitis, at least acute bronchitis. We'll talk about chronic bronchitis in a minute. Bronchitis is very similar to asthma. It is a inflammation of the bronchioles, right? Itis means inflammation. Referring to the bronchioles, inflammation of the bronchioles, right? Asthma is also inflammation of the bronchioles. The difference is usually the cause, right? So where asthma will come from some kind of allergen or environmental trigger, bronchitis is usually caused by infection, right? So it's just kind of a matter of which one, which causes it, right? Is it an infection, or like smoking, for example, will also cause bronchitis, but smoking can also cause asthma. So kind of the biggest differentiate, the big way to think about the difference between the two, bronchitis is usually caused by infection, where asthma is usually caused by an allergen, all right? They work under the same premise though, which is inflammation and obstruction of air through the bronchioles, okay? So you're gonna have a lot of the same symptoms. Wheezing, shortness of breath, cough, right? I might even have a fever. Okay, they might have, this might be a more productive cough, right? So whereas in asthma, they might have a dry cough where you're not getting any mucus or secretions up, you might with bronchitis have more of a wet cough because you're gonna have thicker mucus in there from the infection. So this might be productive. When I refer to a productive cough, I mean a cough that you can, and like you get something up with it, right? As opposed to a dry cough where nothing is coming up with it, right? There's a difference. Dry cough usually means more of an obstruction and a tightening of the airway. Productive cough usually refers to some kind of fluid or mucus in the lungs. Thank you for the bless yous. We can use respirators when someone's having an asthma attack. What do you mean respirators? Treatment for this, antibiotics, and then your bronchodilators. Usually nebulized as well. Same with asthma. Steroids for this as well. And sometimes even NSAIDs can help with that. All right. So asthma and bronchitis, two very similar processes caused by two different things. Asthma being a constriction of the airway due to an allergen, bronchitis being a constriction of the airway due to infection. Sorry, I was switching my cups around so I could have my water on my free side. I know I'm going to run out of space eventually. While we're on the topic of obstructive lung diseases, God, that's so bad. Who knows someone who has COPD? Chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. Who knows somebody who has COPD? It is the third leading killer in the United States, COPD is. Chronic obstructive pulmonary disease can be separated into two different types. You have chronic bronchitis and you have emphysema. Both of them are going to make it harder for you to exhale, to breathe out, right? So this is going to be an obstructive issue, right? Just like asthma and just like bronchitis, this is going to be an obstructive issue. It's going to be an issue with clearing air out of your lungs, okay? The difference is, if we talk about mesothelioma, I'm not super familiar with it, if I'm honest with you. I know it's caused by asbestos. It causes like little shards of kind of like micro glass to get into your lungs, and then it damages it and causes cancer, I believe. There's two types of COPD. You have chronic bronchitis, which is exactly what we just talked about, which is a chronic inflammation of the lungs, right? So acute bronchitis is going to be caused by an acute infection, right? This will get better with antibiotics, ideally, right? When it becomes a chronic bronchitis is when you start to have a cough for greater than 3 months. If you have a productive cough for greater than 3 months, you have now transitioned to chronic bronchitis. Same with emphysema. This applies for both, by the way. If you have a chronic cough for 3 months or longer, you have now become, kind of crossed that boundary into COPD. Okay, so chronic bronchitis, this is going to be caused by consistent and chronic inflammation of the bronchioles. Smoking will cause that. Being around fumes, such as like at a beauty shop, like hairsprays, right? Doing that regularly. It's constantly causing inflammation and irritants to the bronchioles, right? Smoking. Cigarette smoke, when you smoke in, is like, it damages like every part of your airway all the way down, right? That constant damage and inflammation causes this chronic inflammation of the bronchioles, thus chronic bronchitis. You guys don't understand the difference between acute versus chronic. Acute is short-term, chronic is long-term. All right. So chronic bronchitis, usually caused by smoking, also caused by heavy polluted areas. Pretty much as long as you're having a constant stream of irritants into the lungs that is causing chronic and consistent inflammation, you have chronic bronchitis. Okay. Emphysema is a little bit more difficult. Emphysema has to do not with the airway itself, but with the actual alveoli, right? So what happens is these alveoli, these little sacs that I talked about in the beginning, right? These little sacs that fill up with air, they're elastic. So when air comes in, right, the little sacs expand out to fill up with air, and then when you breathe out, they contract and squeeze together. And this kind of helps push the air out, right? You need that elasticity of big, small, right? Like a balloon, right? What happens in emphysema is you have a damaging of the walls of the alveoli where it becomes less elastic. So you might have your alveoli like this, and then the air comes in, they expand a little bit, and then you try to breathe out, and they don't really compress. They just stay full, right? These patients have a hard time getting air out as well, not due to constriction of the bronchioles, but because they don't have the elasticity down in the alveoli to help push that air out. Does that make sense? So they end up retaining air because of the damage to the alveoli. So the air just kind of hangs out in here, right? There's nothing to squeeze it back out. It just kind of hangs out in the alveoli. So this causes them to retain carbon dioxide. It causes them to retain air. They cannot breathe out. All right. Typically, you'll see a clinical difference between these two patients. Usually chronic bronchitis, we refer to them as the blue bloaters, right? So they'll be kind of cyanotic. They're usually on the heavier side. They look bloated and swollen, right? As opposed to your emphysematic patient, who we call the pink puffers, right? Because they're usually going to be skinny with a barrel chest, and they're going to be puffing air out, trying to create pressure to clear this airway, right? So they look a little bit different. But they both have COPD, which is chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. There is a chronic issue that is causing obstruction of airflow through the lungs, whether it be due to a narrowing of the bronchioles or a loss of elasticity in the alveoli. Treatment or symptoms for this: cough, shortness of breath, wheezing, right? Because you have a constriction of the airway, you're going to have wheezing, right? And they might also have some chest tightness as well. Some of the treatments for this, it's going to be bronchodilators, which you'll see a lot today. Steroids and oxygen therapy, the O2. Interesting note about your COPD patients. This is just a side note that I think is really, really interesting and also pretty fascinating about how our body works. There is something known as the hypoxic drive. So, the way our body works, if you hold your breath for too long, eventually your brain says, hey, our oxygen level is dropping. We need to breathe to bring more oxygen in. That is how your body should work, okay? When your patients who have chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, what happens is, because this is an obstructive issue, which means that they are retaining air, they are having trouble clearing air, they get a buildup of carbon dioxide in their blood. So their carbon dioxide levels are typically higher because they cannot breathe out the carbon dioxide because it is obstructed, right? So we call this CO2 retention, right? They retain CO2. Well, what happens is because they have this high amount of CO2 in their blood and low oxygen level, their brain kind of rewires the way that it controls breathing. So instead of your breathing being triggered by low oxygen levels, it actually gets triggered by high carbon dioxide levels. It's what we call the hypoxic drive, right? So the brain rewires how it breathes, right? It says, okay, we're having high amounts of carbon dioxide. Let's try to breathe again, because your oxygen is generally going to be lower for these patients. Some of these patients live in with an O2 sat of like 89 to 92, right? That's just their normal. They just live there. Where normal is 96 to 100 roughly. They usually live in the 80s, the high 80s to low 90s, right? So what's interesting is if you give these patients oxygen, too much oxygen, you can shut down this hypoxic drive and actually kill their respiratory drive. You have to be very careful when you administer oxygen to your COPD patients, because if you give them too much, you can actually slow down their respiratory drive, because their brain has adapted to that high concentration of CO2 that if you remove that, it then has trouble breathing. Just an interesting note. These patients are usually on like 2 liters of oxygen. Very few of them go on more than that. Oh. Dude, Jake, how you feeling, buddy? You doing okay? Any questions about COPD before I move on? It's a very complex disease. There's a lot that goes on to it, but just know that the main takeaway from this is a chronic, I mean, it's right there in the title. It is a chronic obstructive disease of the lung that prevents patients from being able to exhale properly, either due to chronic inflammation of the bronchioles or a lack of elasticity in the alveoli, or both. They might have both of these. Okay. That's horrifying. It is scary. So this is why don't smoke. This is your #1 risk factor for lung disease. The more you smoke, the more likely you are to develop some kind of lung disease, whether it be COPD, cancer, chronic pneumonias, right? You are at a higher risk the more things that you shove into your lungs, or vape, anything, even smoking pot. People are, oh God, marijuana is harmless. It is not. Cannabis is not harmless. You are still inhaling a substance that is not supposed to be in your lungs. Is it more dangerous than smoking cigarettes? Probably not. No. Is it dangerous? Hell yeah. Inhaling anything into your lungs is bad. Eat brownies. Just eat brownies instead. And I can't get, like, the people who do the vape, right? Like the nicotine vaping, right? Yes, is a hit off of a nicotine vape healthier than a hit off of a cigarette? Yes. Sure. There's probably less things in there. There's less tar. It's less harsh. It's not a combustion. It's a vapor, right? It's not a smoke. Sure, you can make that argument, right? But that's like saying getting to a car accident at 70 miles an hour, right, is more dangerous than getting into a car accident at 50 miles an hour, right? You're still getting into a car accident. You're still going to cause damage. One's just going to do a little bit more damage because of the way it happens. You're still going to do damage. Plus, you got to take into account the fact that people who do vape take a lot more hits off their vape than someone who smokes a cigarette, right? How many times do you see people sitting there like over and over and over all freaking day, all day, as opposed to cigarettes, right? Yeah, you get your chain smokers, but they're less likely to sit there and right over and over and over, right? So you got to take that into account as well. All right. So those are the 4 main obstructive diseases that we're going to focus on today. Actually, there is one more that we're going to talk about. Hold on. Where did I put it? Well, it kind of falls into both. We'll talk about that one next. Who's ever had pneumonia? Who's ever had pneumonia before? Pneumona. A good old pneumona. I had it twice in 1 year. You've had it. You had it when you were younger. I heard it's a huge problem with the virus. It is a huge problem with the virus. COVID pneumonia is what kills people. So earlier, at the start of the stream, I told you we're going to talk about different types of diseases, right? We've covered some obstructive diseases, which is an obstruction of the airway preventing exhalation, right? We're now going to talk about a gas exchange issue, where you're going to have something wrong with the alveoli, where gas can't actually get into the blood, right? Pneumonia is one of those causes. What happens in pneumonia? Sharon, thanks for the follow. Welcome to Bobby Flock. Welcome in. Kevin Sepulvidas. Yo, just gonna call you Kevin. Thanks for the follow. Welcome to Bobby Flock. Welcome in, guys. Pneumonia, often caused by infection, whether it be bacterial, viral, fungal, right? What happens is you get an infection in your lungs, and that infection kind of settles down into the alveoli. As your body tries to fight that infection, oh God! Azum Nest coming in with the tier 1 sub for 1 month, guys. That's a new enrollee to Collie Care. Spam the flops. Azum Nest, I got you covered under Collie Care. From the flops to the beans, you're covered. Thanks for the new sub, guys. Spam the flops. Spam the flops. Spam them. Get those flops in there. Okay. So as the infection kind of works its way down into the lungs, eventually it'll settle down into the alveoli. And once it settles down into the alveoli, it starts to, spread and do as infection does, which is multiply and cause more damage. Where your body tries to fight this by going into its immune response. And remember, we talked about the immune response. One of the ways that your body fights infection is through inflammation and swelling, right? So as the alveoli, or the veins and the capillaries around the alveoli, begin to swell and become inflamed, fluid and infection fighting stuff begins to flood into the alveoli, right? So if you have like your alveoli here, right, and say you have your capillaries here, oh God! Alright, I guess that's not gonna work. Oh, I see why. Here we go. So as oxygen tries to come in, it hits this mixture of mucus and fluid and pus, and it can't actually get into the blood, right? This is what causes pneumonia. It's fluid buildup in the alveoli due to infection, okay? Due to infection. So, just like with our obstructive diseases, you're going to have a lot of the same issue caused by different sources, right? In pneumonia's case, the fluid buildup in the alveoli is due to infection, right? So how do you treat infection? Antibiotics, right? You can give antibiotics to help treat the infection. You can give oxygen therapy for this, right? You can give oxygen for it. You can give like steroids to help with the inflammation and slow it down, right? But you got to treat the underlying cause, which is the infection. The infection is what is causing a issue with gas exchange. Also, keep in mind, if oxygen can't get in, that means carbon dioxide cannot get out either. So you also begin to retain carbon dioxide because it also cannot pass through that mixture of mucus and pus. Yutan Kun, thanks for the follow. Welcome to Bobby Flock. Welcome in. Does everybody understand what pneumonia is? Pneumonia is a collection of fluid and pus and mucus in the alveoli due to infection. It is caused by an infection. Did I spell steroids wrong? No, I didn't. Oh, I did. Rheoids. Oops. Steroids. I was talking when I was writing. Drop her food. Get out of here. All right, Jake. Of course you understand what pneumonia is, Jake. God, this one's big. So, if pneumonia is a buildup of fluid in the alveoli due to infection, pulmonary edema is a buildup of fluid in the alveoli due to hypervolemia or too much fluid. Okay? So remember when we talked about congestive heart failure? One of the ways that congestive fart failure. I can't believe I just said congestive fart failure. Can you imagine being like, guys, I'm sorry, I have congestive fart failure. Sorry, it's just my congestive fart failure. Congestive heart failure, one of the things that can happen with CHF is that you get a fluid buildup in the lungs due to the traffic jam of the heart. If you have excess fluid building up in the lungs, it'll start to eventually seep out into the alveoli. So let's redraw what we did up here. So here's your alveoli. Here's your vasculature around it. Your oxygen coming in. Okay? What'll start to happen is, if you have too much fluid buildup in the veins and arteries and these little capillaries around the alveoli, it'll eventually start to seep out into the alveoli. And when that happens, you're going to get fluid buildup in that lung, or in that alveoli, which once again is going to cause an issue with gas exchange. That what happens when you drown? What happens when you drown is pretty much this, but on the entire scale of the lungs. Water, gas does not diffuse well through water. It diffuses well through empty space, which is what your alveoli typically provide, but it does not diffuse well through water or fluid in general. All right. So pulmonary edema, the same kind of mechanism that's happening with pneumonia, except the cause of it is different. Pulmonary edema is due to hypervolemia, which causes fluid to leak from the capillaries into the alveoli, whereas pneumonia is caused by mucus and pus coming from an infection in our body trying to fight the infection that fills up the alveoli. Does that make sense? Same idea, different causes. Your symptoms for these two: shortness of breath. You're going to get rales, which is that popping noise I talked about, right? So as these alveoli begin to kind of like, so say, especially for pneumonia, right? That mucus is kind of sticky. So when your alveoli close, they kind of get stuck together. And then when you breathe in, as it expands, that mucus kind of pops. And it creates like a Rice Krispie sound. And we can hear that on a stethoscope. It's called rales. So if you're listening to someone's lung sound and it sounds like a fireplace almost, it sounds like a crackling wood. It is the alveoli popping open because of that mucus holding it shut. I'm thinking about seeing your lessons on my biology lesson, Cinder. You talk about seeing, like, learning all this. They might also run a fever if it's an infection related, right? Chest x-ray is going to look like shit, especially if it gets really bad. This is all, pretty much all this stuff is going to be diagnosed with some type of chest x-ray. If it gets really bad, then you need to intubate them, yes. Jake, we don't always intubate everybody, you know. Just a lot of people. All right, so pneumonia and pulmonary edema have to do with gas exchange in the alveoli due to fluid buildup. The cause of that fluid buildup depends on the reason. Pneumonia is caused by infection. Pulmonary edema is caused by hypervolemia and seeping of fluid from the capillaries into the alveoli. Does anybody know what cystic fibrosis is? Does anybody, Jake, I know you know this. Has anybody heard of cystic fibrosis or CF? Running Paw, you have. Metalworking, you've heard of it. Jake, of course you've heard. Jake, of course you know what it is. I know you know what CF is. Ooh, excuse me. Cystic fibrosis is a genetic condition. That causes the cells in the lungs that secrete mucus. You have cells in your lungs that create mucus. They become overactive, and the mucus that they make is very thick and sticky.
Shotspot.
So what they get is they get an excess production of mucus in their lungs. So this is both kind of an obstructive and a gas exchange issue, right? They get a little bit of both because that mucus will begin to obstruct the airway with how thick and sticky it is, but it'll also start to pool up into the alveoli and begin to create issues with gas exchange as well.
Shotspot.
Thanks for the host, guys. Also, holy crap, follow Floof. Thanks for the follow. Welcome to Fobby Flock. Welcome in. Cinder Shorty. Excuse you. Thanks for the follow. Welcome to Fobby Flock. Welcome in. So this is a genetic condition. So the cells within the lungs that create this mucus, this protective mucus, the mucus that they make is really thick and it's really sticky. So they have a hard time clearing that mucus, right? They cannot get that mucus out. So it begins to constrict their airways and pool and kind of collect in their alveoli. Okay. This is a genetic condition that most people either develop very early on in life or are born with it. Their lifespan or their quality of life is not that great. Cystic fibrosis is a terrible disease. We don't really have a treatment for it other than maybe like a lung transplant will help. These patients will often have, they can get like percussion vests. So they'll wear a vest that delivers percussions like thumps to their chest and back to help break up this secretion so they can get it out, right? Because otherwise they are constantly trying to clear these secretions and it's tough, it's hard. They can't do it because it's so thick and sticky in there that they need help, and that percussion helps kind of break up those secretions so they can clear it out. They can also take medications that help kind of thin the secretions, but some of them are pretty expensive. And eventually they just eventually will need a lung transplant. Are you a doctor? How do you know all this? I'm a nurse. I'm an emergency room nurse. I work in the ER. Radium Desu, hey! Cystic fibrosis is a nasty, nasty disease. I feel really bad for patients with this because their lungs are just filled with mucus, and it's kind of gross, but also they just are like drowning, constantly drowning on their mucus. So they have an obstructive issue because that mucus obstructs airway through the bronchioles, and they have an issue with gas exchange because as the mucus kind of pools in their alveoli, you can't get gas exchange through it. So they kind of fight both battles. Transplants generally don't do well though if they have CF, really. So I mean, Jake, do you know, like, what are the treatments other than like percussion vests and maybe like oxygen or bronchodilators, which I don't even know if those would help. Some kind of like anti-mucus. Is there a way to thin the secretions? Or they do like the lavage, where they like just flush out your lungs. Can't they do that? I'm unfamiliar with some of the treatments for cystic fibrosis because we don't see it super often. What causes it's a genetic disorder. It's a genetic disorder of the cells that cause this. It also affects cells that produce that cause sweating, and as well as some of the digestive juices. So they generally have some other symptoms associated with it as well. Transplant and physiologic therapy. Yeah, that's pretty much what I want. That's pretty much what I thought. Meowtastic! God damn it! No penises on my board. Unless I'm trying to draw a pancreas, no penises. What's next? What do I got next on my list? Ah, okay. So now we're going to talk about some issues with restrictive lung disease, okay? So we've talked about obstructive lung disease, and we've talked about gas exchange issues. Now let's talk about restrictive issues, issues that prevent the lung from being able to expand properly, okay? This one's kind of like a mild restrictive issue, but something that if you've ever had it, you know how painful it can be. Who's ever had pleurisy before? I have. Hurts like hell. they're usually in the ICU for a long time, like a year or longer, then usually pass in the ICU. That doesn't surprise me. Mastermind, thank you. So just like your heart sits in a sac, the pericardium, right, to help kind of lubricate and protect it, your lungs also sit in a sac known as the pleural space, or the pleura, which is a thin coating or lining of the lung, okay? Sometimes, though, this lining can become inflamed or irritated, right? And what you get is an inflammation of the pleura, which is this thin coat that covers the lung. What happens with this is it's generally not terrible, right? It usually just kind of fixes itself on its own, right? But what happens is you get a rubbing of the lung directly onto the pleural space, where typically there would be like lubrication and it wouldn't really cause friction. You start to get friction between the lung and the lining of the lung, which is the pleurosis, or the pleural space, pleura, whatever you want to call it, right? This causes pain. So a lot of times patients will have pain with inspiration. So when they breathe in, as that lung expands, it then rubs against that inflamed pleura, and it causes a kind of like a burning sensation. Is a doctor or a nurse in the hospital? I'm a nurse. I'm a nurse. I'm a nurse. I'm a nurse. I'm not a doctor. I'm a nurse. So typically what this will have will be pain with inspiration. If you listen to it, you might even hear like a friction rubbing sound. We call a pleural rub. And that's that wall of the lung actually physically rubbing against the pleura. It sounds like, if you can imagine the crunch of your foot on snow, when you step in snow, kind of that crunching noise, it kind of sounds like that. It sounds like a rubbing kind of crunching noise as the lung rubs against the pleura. These are just treated with antibiotics and NSAIDs. It usually fixes itself. But this idea that the lung sits within a cavity known as the pleura is going to be important for the next few things we talk about, which are our restrictive lung diseases. Pleural effusion. Pleural effusion occurs when you get fluid buildup between the pleura and the lung. So, like we just discussed, the lung sits in this kind of protective sac known as the pleura. There is some space in between the lung and the pleura, which can fill up with fluid. If that fills up with fluid, it is a restrictive disease because it prevents the lung from expanding the entire way it needs to expand, right? You get all of this lost space down here for air exchange to happen because that fluid is going to press against the lung and prevent it from expanding. This is known as pleural effusion, okay? This can be caused from a couple things. Infection can cause this. Hypervolemia or excess fluid can cause this. Trauma can cause this, although trauma is going to usually cause more of a pneumothorax, which we'll talk about in a little bit. But trauma can sometimes cause a little bit of fluid to build up in there. Typically, the symptoms for this, you'll have chest pain, shortness of breath, and then diminished. Is diminished 2 M's? Yes. Or even absent lung sounds, right? Because if you try to listen for air movement down here, you're not going to hear anything because it's full of fluid because the lung is not actually expanding there. So you'll have distant or absent lung sounds, okay? Treatment for this, if it's really bad, if it's not super, super bad, we treat the underlying cause, whether it be the hypervolemia or the infection, in which case you give antibiotics. If it's really bad, we stick a chest tube in here. We put a tube inside your lung to drain the fluid out to a canister. And that's how you treat pleural effusion. It's a restrictive issue, so you remove the thing that is restricting the lung's ability to expand. Pneumothorax and hemothorax. A pneumothorax is a collapsed lung, either from air or fluid, and a hemothorax is a collapsed lung due to blood. Big bag of Wendy's. Ooh, give me them fries. I want that fries and a Dave's double. Bye, break. DJ Furfox, take care. So collapsed lung is typically a result of trauma, whether it be blunt force or penetrating, right? That causes either air to enter the pleural space or for fluid to develop in enough volume and pressure to actually physically collapse the lung, right? So this is just a collapsed lung. This can happen from trauma. It can also happen spontaneously. Some people just get spontaneous collapsed lungs, right? If this is full of blood, it becomes a hemothorax because you actually have blood that is pushing down on the lung, okay? Treatment for this, chest tube. We just put a tube in here to reinflate the lung and either remove the fluid or fix the seal so that the lung can expand. There's no really other way around it. If you have a collapsed lung, you need a chest tube in there. So those are some of our restrictive lung diseases, okay? The last one we're going to talk about is going to be your circulatory issues. Pulmonary embolism, a PE. Anybody know anybody who's had a PE or pulmonary embolism before? They're super scary, and they'll straight up just kill you before you even know it. A pulmonary embolism is a blood clot that interrupts the blood flow to the lungs. So here we are with our alveoli and our circulation around it, right? If a blood clot gets in here and interrupts these tiny little capillaries here, you no longer get gas exchange out of the lungs because you have no blood, because it's blocked, right? Just like how a blood clot in the heart causes a heart attack, think of a pulmonary embolism as a lung attack, right? You have a clot that lodges itself somewhere in the arteries of the lung and causes damage, right? Where it lodges itself can determine how deadly this is, right? If it lodges itself in one of the bigger arteries up here, you then infarct pretty much all of the lung below it, okay? These patients can die very quickly, depending on where the pulmonary embolism ends up. There are a couple things we can do to remove it. We can give you medications to break down that clot, or they can actually physically go in and do what's called a thrombolectomy, where they actually go into these arteries and pull the clot out. I've had patients go there before with massive PEs. We have to get them actually physically removed from their arteries in their lungs because they are so big. This will just straight up kill you. Like, no doubt about it. If it gets into a big enough artery, you'll just die. And you'll just, boom, done. A lot of times when you have, sometimes when you have patients who were fine 1 minute and then suddenly went into cardiac arrest and unresponsive the next, one of my first things that I think of is a pulmonary embolism because it can kill you very quickly. Mini309, thanks for the follow. Welcome to Flobby Flock. Welcome in. Big Kitty is going to heaven at his echocardiogram for a dog. You are a really good streamer. Morale. I will watch the rest of your stuff on YouTube. Oh, thank you. Good luck with your echo. Have them explain to you, like, watch it. Have them explain, like, that's your heart valve, there's your ventricles, there's your atria. It's really interesting. They usually like to talk about it, too. So that's my lecture on all of the different types of pulmonary diseases, the common ones. There are a lot of them. There are some I didn't touch on, like, for example, tuberculosis, which is a chronic infection of the tuberculosis virus, or the bacteria that causes TB, right? Which can be really extremely dangerous and also very contagious as well. When you're thinking of like COVID is going to be down in this area. It's going to be a pneumonia, right? COVID causes pneumonia, which causes fluid buildup in the alveoli due to the infection itself. The problem is it's just very good at doing this. Had a cat that got a PE and died from it. Interesting thing about pulmonary embolisms. One of the like hallmark signs of a pulmonary embolism is one of my favorite symptoms, which is impending sense of doom. Patients will have what we call an impending sense of doom. Well, they will come in and they'll just feel like, they will just tell you, I feel like I'm going to die. And they'll tell it to you with a straight face. They'll say, I feel like I'm going to die. And if they tell you that seriously, you kind of take it serious. You got to take it at its face, right? Because usually they say that for a reason. Not like, and I'm not talking about the patients that are like, oh my God, I'm dying. Ah. Like, no. They'll just be sitting there. They'll be like, I feel like I'm going to die. I feel like something's going to happen. I got this. I feel like I'm going to die. Like, and they tell you seriously, not dramatic, seriously. I've had patients tell me that before. It's scary. Anyways, that's my lecture. I hope you enjoyed. Also, Radium Desu, hey! What's up, Radium? I hope all of the stuff I'm teaching you, you get to learn in med school. And I hope this isn't the first time learning, and I hope the stuff that I'm explaining actually makes sense. Jake, I'm looking at you. If you're still here, Jake, let me know. From one nurse to another. Is this good? Is this comprehensive enough? Was it a subject about knee injuries? What are you talking about? Also, diffuse! You got the diffuse! Ba 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 ba. It's juice, but close enough. Diffuse! So guys, so diffuse, okay. I gotta tell you something. Diffuse, the other day, me and Diffuse were talking. We were talking via voice, and he turned to me, he said, Cinder, I have a confession to make. I said, oh boy, Diffuse, what do you got to say? He said, I just pretend to not like pineapple on pizza. I actually love it. And I was like, Diffuse, how could you possibly deceive your entire community that way? He says, I had to keep up the act. And then I actually tried it, and I saw that it was delicious. So everybody, I want to let you know, I am calling Diffuse out. He likes pineapple on pizza. He told me in secret. That is the truth. You can trust these flops. The gloves are off. I'm throwing hooves. Let's go, Diffuse. Let's go. I'll throw. You want to fight? Come on. I'll kick your ass. Diffuse, I'm sorry. Wait, don't hold that sub hostage. See what you're doing.
Fine. Take it, though you don't deserve it.
Yeah, I will take it. Take it good. Diffuse coming out the tier 1 sub for 10 freaking months. Diffuse, that founder's badge is well deserved. Diffuse, I got you covered under collie care. From the antlers to the pineapple pizza, you're covered. Guys, Diffuse, if it wasn't for Diffuse, I probably would have never started streaming. I remember talking to Diffuse at one point back like beginning of this year. And Diffuse was like, so Cinder, when are you going to start streaming? And I was like, I can't do that. It's a lot of work. I know how much work it is. It's a ton of work and it's hard. And he was like, you should try it. Well, now here I am. I tried it and it worked. So, all of this, this hot mess of a stream is Diffuse's fault. Blame him when my stream is a mess. It's his fault. Blame him. All grown up. I'm a big dog now. Yes. Did you explain diseases before, like bacteria and viruses and the human's body response? I talked about the immune system recently. It's in one of my VODs. You can go watch it. Send the hate mail to cinder@kali.org/biz. Alright. So today, we're playing the Turing test. New puzzle game, guys. New puzzle game. New puzzle game. Are you excited to play a new puzzle game? Because I am. Superliminal was fun, but it was really kind of light on the puzzles and more on the philosophy, right? The perceptions, the change in perspectives is really cool. But I felt like the puzzles were kind of a little bit lacking. Although it was still a fun game. Floomfusky, thanks for the follow. Welcome to Flobby Flock. Welcome in. If I didn't get on as a founder, I was at work in the office in February. I had no Wi-Fi in the office for security reasons. Roaster, don't worry. If we make partner, you will definitely get a founder badge. I can promise you that right now. I'm saying it on stream. Gotta mute and go to a meeting. Diffuse, take care. Get paid. Get paid. Alright guys, real quick, before we start the game, I gotta take a quick bio break. I'll be right back. I gotta get some more water. Quick bio break. I'll be right back. You guys know what time it is. It's time to watch the sheep. Don't lose Eddie. Please don't lose Eddie. I worked very hard to get them in there. I'll be right back. I'm back. I'm coming. Ah. Did you lose any sheep? Also, I got a granola bar. So you guys get to hear some granola bar ASMR for a little bit. Although, I hardly call this a granola bar because it's covered in chocolate, so it's basically just a candy bar. I just needed some sugar. Where is that located? I don't know. I just found a video of sheep and used it. It was like a 7-hour video of sheep, and I found a scene from it that I liked. It's not a photo. It's actually a video. They're moving. I don't know where it's at, like where it's from. Okay. I got some food in me. I got some more water. I emptied my bladder. It's time for a new game. Alright, let's launch. Oh God! What in the hell? I just want to play the game! Windows sound jump scare was loud on my end too. Ah! Oh my God! Hold on! Holy crap! Oh God, everything's falling apart! Oh God. Yeah, I should have probably tried playing this before off stream at some point. Sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't mean for it to be so loud.
Bark. Woof. Bark bark. Woof. Woof. Uff yip yip. Araroo.
Arah. Ooh. Arah. Oh, it's still loud. Oh, I didn't apply it, did I? Or like 67%. Sure. There we go, that's better. Dude, Feathered Flint! Dude, Feathered Flint coming with a rate of 30 freaking 1! Guys! It's a burb. It's a burb. Feathered Flint, thanks for sharing your community with mine, and thank you for blasting my ears full of wonderful Andrew WK. Jeez. Fennec Fox Slide, thanks for the follow, welcome to the Floppy Flock. Kedu Fox, thanks for the follow, welcome to the Floppy Flock. Barbosa, thanks for the follow, welcome to the Floppy Flock. Dude, Feathered Flint, thank you for the raid, I appreciate it. What's up, guys? You guys just missed class. Now we're gonna play the Turing test. Starting a new game, the Turing test. Feathered, what were you playing? I don't even know how to do the shout out command on my own stream. I'm so bad. Let's hope this works. Hyrule Warriors, hey! How many kills do you get? You just hacking and slashing? Junior Scout, thanks for the follow, welcome to the Floppy Flock. Dan the Wolf, thanks for the follow, welcome to the Floppy Flock. I'm not an AI, you can't prove anything? I don't know. That's what an AI would say. Sus. I'm putting sus on you. You're getting sussed. Hold on, where's my other hand? You're getting sussed now.
Shamrock one, 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 Shamrock.
Fennec Fox Slide, thanks for the 49 bits and the Shamrock ones, Shamrock one, Shamrock one, Shamrock one, Shamrock ones. Thank you. All right, guys. Are we ready for a new game? Let's do it. Let's play some Turing Test. See what this game's all about. A few of your classes have helped me understand the diseases some of my family members have had, including myself who has asthma in the past. Still do, but they are not as severe. I'm learning, Paul. I'm glad that you can learn. I'm glad that I can make both expand your knowledge, but also help you deal with your family's, chronic issues as well. I'm glad that I can help. Fennec!
I love your character, Kunda3.
Thunder! Fennec, thanks for the 100 bits. Thanks for making Tux dance. Look at that werewolf. Oh, here we go. Exposition. Cunder.
Morning, Eva.
Hold on. I need... Always enable subtitles.
Your wake-up has been sanctioned by the ISA.
Wait, did I not apply that? They're waking me up! I don't want to wake up! Not yet! There we go.
We lost contact with the ground crew 450 hours ago. We have tried to establish further communications, but we are not getting any responses.
Can you get out of my face?
We need you to investigate.
Okay, doesn't it make sense to do visual checks first?
We have already looked at the data. The ISA has made the executive decision that you report to the surface post-haste. You are our emergency response.
I didn't
What
sign up for
exactly
this.
is the emergency?
The ground crew found an organism the ISA believed to be dangerous. We need to re-establish communication.
Okay. Ooh, pretty. Hey, he's Canadian. It's not a scary game, it's a puzzle game. Yeah, it's a puzzle game.
Pick up your EMT. It's on the side.
Is it Lunciano? Lunciano Raccoon? Thanks for the follow. Welcome to Floppy Flock. Welcome in. Thanks for following. What games are you looking forward to playing? This. I want to play this.
Okay. We are going to take a lander to Europa.
I got a
Make your
gun.
way to the docking station.
Luciano, hey. This way? Office? Docking station. Ah, there we go. Office. Nothing I want to buy in the future? Why, Rise? So you can buy it for me? I'm not gonna fall for that! I can afford my own games, thank you! Nice try. Is the game volume good enough? Do you want a little louder? Even in space they make you do paperwork? Yeah, I know.
What's the ship's status?
I have performed the necessary checks. The Europa lander is ready to launch.
I love the setting already. I like spaceship stuff. We're just running down these halls and then all of a sudden, oh god, a necromorph! Quick, cut off its limbs!
Bay 3.
Alright, let's do it.
Retro?
Go.
Fido?
Go.
Guidance?
Go.
Control?
Go.
Go.
Telcom?
Go.
Then we are go for launch initiating.
Separate.
Whee!
Engaging retrofire. I'm running the program 80 degree delta pitch to 88 degrees absolute. Braking procedure.
Oh, braking procedure.
Trajectory looks
You
good.
can't do that. It's procedure for a
To
reason.
alarm. It looks like we're coming in too fast.
It's because you broke
You're
procedure.
slightly short of the landing site. We are going to have to burn late. Go.
Full retrograde.
This is why we have protocols, damn it.
Open the door.
Running Paw, take care.
Welcome to Europa.
Far? Oh, okay. That answers my question. How far away I can go before it throws a wall at me? That. Why is their screen tearing? Hold on. I had to turn VSync on. It is enabled.
How long will my suit survive these conditions?
At 100 degrees Kelvin, a couple of hours.
You guys see that,
We
right?
should get inside.
Am I crazy? Maybe it's just this area. It's weird. Don't do this to me. Come on, I want this game to be fun. Don't be throwing some weird graphical issues at me already.
Podzu, Subnautica anyone?
Dude, Buddy coming with the tier 1 sub for 3 freaking months. Buddy, I need to get to Subnautica at some point. Eventually I will. Buddy, you're coming under collar care from the tall bunny ears to little bunny tail. I got you covered. Okay, it fixed itself. Wait, can I... Yes, I can bump it. Okay, good. Always prefer a wider FOV. Will, thanks for the 5 bits. Whoa, don't scan me. Excuse you.
The base has changed.
What do you mean?
The base was originally constructed as modules to withstand the seismic activity in and around Thera Macula. It appears the ground team have manipulated these modules.
Okay, so it gets rid of anything I can't carry. That's my little...
The base was built
Prevents me from
initially
carrying one
by
thing to the
machines.
next.
I served as the mind of these operations. I arrived first on Europa in 2240. It costs a lot to send humans into space with the necessary life support, especially such a vast distance from Earth. So, robotics built this place.
I wonder why the ground team has changed these rooms.
I have a hypothesis. These rooms are Turing tests.
Turing tests?
Turing tests are tests designed to tell humans and machines apart. Typically, problems only solvable by a human. A combination of logical and lateral thinking.
So, you can't complete these tests, Tom?
No. That is why I am glad you are here to help. We need to work together.
I don't like him already. Okay, so they built a bunch of test puzzles so that way the robots can't get in because the robots created the place and they don't want to be taken over by robots. Makes sense. Captain Grubby, take care!
They really have completely repurposed these rooms. I am quite impressed.
So, what were they used for before?
Most of them were used for storage. But they have converted them beyond recognition. Perhaps they ran out of things to do out here. The devil makes work for idle hands.
Ain't that the truth? Calling it now, he's the bad guy? Yeah, I kind of get that too, but who knows. Also, no spoilers, please. No spoilers, just like with all the other puzzle games. If I have issues, if I need help, I'll ask for help, but I don't want any spoilers, no nothings.
Do you know the ground team's location?
The crew are deep.
Hey Cinder, why are you a cute fluff?
Dude, Fenix, thanks for the 10 bits. Why am I cute fluff? Because that's the way my mommy made me. I don't know. Just the way I am. I appreciate the 10 bits. Thank you.
They must be trying to survive. Can you find their precise location?
I'm afraid not.
Whoa, what? Rye, you just get Rye! This is why I didn't freaking. Oh my god. Rye! God damn it, Rye! Thank you! You didn't have to do that, seriously. You didn't have to freaking do that. Thank you, Rye. You've always been so nice. Thank you. I'll make it up to you. I will. What do you want? You tell me what you want. I'll get you something for
I
Christmas.
am working to regain control. Though I once had complete control of this base, a lot has changed in the past 500 hours.
All I want for Christmas is you. But you can't have me. It doesn't work that way. Right, I appreciate it though. Thank you. Dude, Henry Husky coming out to tier 1 stuff for 5 freaking months. Henrik, I got you covered on the collar here, from the pointy husky ears to the curled tail. I got you covered. Thank you. I do this. There we go.
So if this base is managed by you, why can't you find the crew?
The base's communication array is malfunctioning. Perhaps we can't solve this yet.
We definitely can't solve that. Whoa! It's so fast. Ew. Yes, bathe me in that radiation. Oh, so good. Can I take from there, though? I don't think it's covered. It's all a sham. It's all fake. No, I can't. Damn it. Oh.
This doesn't add
Give me
up.
that good bone hurt
What
raise.
does not
Yes.
If there was an accident, surely they'd come to find me, not try to lock me out.
My instance is still resolving conflicts. I expect they have their reasons.
I don't know. I don't trust this guy. I've got a puzzle game for you. It's called Porn. Polycare covered my bonitis surgery. Thanks. You're welcome. I don't know what we covered because we don't cover anything, but you're welcome.
My instance has
Darren
just
Dirk,
been
thanks for the
updated.
follow. Welcome to Floppy Flock. Welcome in.
Sorry?
I have two instances of my mind, two separate versions. A slave mind running on the satellite, and a master running
Slave
here
mind?
on the surface.
We don't talk
When the
about that.
communication was cut between the surface base and the satellite, the two instances of my mind were separated. So, during all this time, all of my knowledge divided into two separate branches. I continue to learn on the satellite, and I continue to learn on the surface. I am trying to merge the knowledge to create a timeline of what's happened here. But there are incongruities between these memories, conflicts.
Easy. Do they get to place their doors Berlin U-Bahn subway? Wait, what are you talking about? I can feel my DNA coming about all that radiation, bathe in it. My one persona is a husky, which is Running Paw, which is my persona Tommy. How'd I come up with the name Running Paw? Wait, what? What are you talking about? I don't know. How'd you come up with the name? Radiation bathing making you feel radiant. I am radiant. We are Valorant. God, that game died so quickly. Ooh, planetarium.
This is the command center. You can check on the crew status from here.
Ava Turing. Oh, let's look at her vital signs. 37.4, good. 64, good. 15 breaths per minute, good. 115 over 74, good. And oxygen 95, good. She's from Germany. She's American. Engineer. Losing her parents at a young age, Ava Turing was sent to military engineering school. Shortly after graduating, she enlisted in the U.S. Navy and trained as a pilot. Due to her exemplary service record and willingness to leave Earth for extended periods of time, Turing was recruited by the ISA. On the exploratory mission to Jupiter's Europa, Turing's role aboard the Fortuna is engineer and vehicle officer. Grey Winged, thanks for the follow. Thanks for the. Oh, God, I screwed it up. Grey Winged, thanks for the follow. Welcome to Floppy Flock. Welcome in. Let's see. Dr. Sochi Yu. She's from Japan. She's an exobiologist. Sochi Yu had no childhood interest in space travel. Instead, he spent his youth studying the life in Lake Biwa near his hometown. Yu went on to study marine biology and chemistry. Doctor, how are you doing? Unknown. That's not good. Dr. Tokarev from Russia. Canadian engineer. Another exobiologist from Syria. And another Canadian. Okay. Oh, that's not good. You want Super Mantis? If you bathe in radiation, that's how you get Super Mantis. You want? Yeah, you know what? Fine. Give me superpowers. That's fine. I'm okay with that.
Woohoo! Shotspot!
I'm Ava Turing. Wait, that's me? Oh yeah, that is me, isn't it? Hey, that's me! Ooh, coffee mug. The only superpowers we're getting are cells that don't stop growing. Oh God, cancer! Touch here. That's a little forward of you. At least ask me out on a date first. Jesus. Jupiter. Oh, okay. Well, I guess we finished the first chapter. Hooray! So, we're stuck on Europa now, trying to figure out why they're not talking, why these people aren't talking to us on this base anymore. And they repurposed all the rooms in the test to try to keep the robots out and keep the humans in, or only let humans in. But Tom is guiding us, and he's a robot. My superpower is that I ooze derpiness at a rate of 3 liters per day. That's a lot of derpiness. You should probably get that checked out. Okay, kids, thanks for the follow. Welcome to Floppy Flock. Welcome in. I got some brats. They're going to encourage. Ooh, that sounds good. Give me some of them bratwurst.
What condition should I expect to find the ground crew in?
Daniel went missing days ago. Chris is presumed dead. We are expecting to find Sarah, Mikhail, and Sochi in a stable condition.
Chris is dead?
He was involved in an accident.
An accident, you say? I don't know about no accident now. I don't know about that. Ain't no accident I ever heard of. I don't know. I don't know about no mayor. Oh, I can just do this. Dumb dog brain. Running Paw was a childhood dog my family owned. Tommy is my fox, and my first persona. Running Paw is my second. Okay. Kraut makes me gassy, but worth it. Broster, is this you at home? Are you sitting here after home? You had some sauerkraut, and all of a sudden, you just rip ass. Is that you?
Could we take a more direct way to the ground team?
Unfortunately, there is not a direct route. The base is buried under ice to protect it from the radiation of space.
Similar to the Mars base.
Similar. Europa's base is slightly deeper into the surface. There is more radiation present from solar events on Mars. But Mars's surface is denser than that of Europa.
way to get this turned off, or can I just grab it? Oh, I can just grab it. Yes! Radiation! Yes! Yes! Give me superpowers! You're going back to lurking? Okay. Enjoy the puzzles.
Okay, what are their chances of survival here? Oxygen, the food stores, waste management.
Everything seems to be in order. There was a small problem with the food stores, but the crew fixed that up. We successfully transitioned over to a sustainable, small, artificial ecosystem a year ago, growing fruit and vegetables. It helps boost morale, amongst other things. The crew members could hypothetically survive here for their whole lifetimes.
You give me some food and proper. Wait, Garbratin? What I miss? I don't know what that is. What's that? Oh wait, what? That changes that? Who keeps leaving the cubes all over the place? It's to test me. It's a Turing test. They're checking to see if I'm a person or not. Oh, okay, so that's how you... Do like that, and we'll take that. Boom, boom. Boom. Open. Done! Hot roast with brown sauce, at least in America. That sounds good.
My purpose as the overseer of this mission is to work for the ISA. I am the ISA's feet and hands. The distance between Jupiter and Earth make it inappropriate for the ISA to directly interface with the mission directives. As my AI core is stationed on Europa, I can make decisions instantaneously about the running of the base.
Hope you didn't miss much. I mean, you missed class, but now we're playing a Turing test. So enjoy. Ah, okay. So I need to... Yoink. Yoink. Making spaghetti? Ooh. Oh wait. Tricky game.
How does the ISA know you're gonna make the right decisions here? when they can't communicate with us?
Interestingly, I have a twin on Earth.
Ooh.
His
Got
name
a
is
twin.
Michael.
Michael.
The ISA uses my twin to check firmware updates before they upload them to myself. There is a simulation of this mission on Earth, running at all times to check my expert systems. Naturally, as any modern artificial intelligence running on a quantum computer, I do also have a large amount of evolutionary algorithms at my disposal. However, they were deemed as too unreliable for general use in the mission.
Why is that?
Biological systems produce biological results. Messy, unpredictable solutions. Not suitable for such a mission.
Don't call us messy. You can't just call humans messy. I mean, we are, but like, you shouldn't say it. Never usually miss class, but sounds like I didn't miss much. Aw. Kenu, thanks for the compliment. I appreciate it. Also, hey. Take that from there and there. That's the end of the puzzle. We'll just tippy-toe across this. Oh, there is a crouch feature. Okay. Can we have a polite conversation? Yes. Oh, I think you're a robot. I'm not a robot. I'm simply not convinced you're a human. I think you might be a robot. Why? Why do you think you get to ask all the questions? You're accusing me. Yes, definitely mine. Screw you! You have failed the Turing test. You're a robot. I'm not! Oh. This is just me typing whatever. What the hell? Oh my god! I had no control over that!
Did the ISA build you, Tom?
As the child of the ISA, I have been given authority aboard this station. I was designed by the ISA and the Ashiyama Corporation, designed in California, assembled in China. But here on Europa, I constructed myself. Have you heard of the Turing test, Ava? It's a test to see if a computer can successfully impersonate a human. In the original Turing test, a human judge has two conversations, one with a machine and one with another human. They then judge which of these polite conversations is with a machine and which is with a human. The machine being tested is said to have passed the Turing test if the judge cannot reliably tell which conversation is with a machine and which is with a human.
Do you think you'd pass the Turing test?
I am quite capable of polite conversation. Wouldn't you say?
Well, now it's getting all, yeah, he's a robot. I wouldn't be surprised if the main character is a bot, but I don't know what this game is, so I wouldn't know. Well, it's a game. Hello, how are you, chat? And also, Kali, this is my second account that I rarely use to get on my phone. Oh, it's Maisne. Hey.
The Turing test has been criticized. Researchers claim it does not correctly test a machine's ability to think, but rather its ability to deceive.
What do you mean?
Well, have you heard of the Chinese room thought experiment?
No.
Imagine you are in a room. In this room, you are passed Chinese sentences through a slot in the wall. Inside the room is an instruction book written in English.
Let's see what it is.
This instruction book tells you which Chinese words to pass back through the slot in the wall as a response. By doing so, you have a conversation in Chinese.
What if Cinder's a robot? I'm not a robot! Tell me, can a robot do this? Yeah, I want to hear a robot fart like that. It can't. Cinder kind of sus? I'm not sus!
In the Chinese room, because the responses you pass back through the door are the correct responses, the person on the other side of the door is convinced you are a native Chinese speaker.
Well, they're wrong.
Perhaps they are not wrong. Because with the instruction book, you are having a conversation.
But the person stuck in the Chinese room is not aware of the conversation's content.
This is the problem with the Turing test. A computer can pass the Turing test, having convinced a human they are having a polite conversation, while the computer has no idea that a conversation has taken place.
What if both of the people passing Chinese words are reading from instruction books?
I'm not a Terminator! I'm not! I don't terminate anything. The only thing I terminate is food when I shove it in my mouth. Cinderbot, I'd recommend checking the rear exhaust valve.
I may be a machine, but I personally do not believe I am stuck inside the Chinese room.
Right, you would say that. I could peer inside your databases at any time, Tom. Or pause your operation.
Do not assume I could not do the same to you.
Screw you, Tom. Damn. Just threatened to kill me. Are you going to teach us more biology? Not today. But at some point in the future, yeah. Damn, Tom be like, what's wrong with murder? Murder beans! The foreshadowing is more rapid than I thought. All along, this was 3 layers of robotics.
This is the
Ooh.
crew's quarters.
I like this. This is cozy.
It looks abandoned.
Let me in! I do not see the need for so many cameras. Tom's presence everywhere is slightly oppressive. I understand the need for transparency, but why is he in the toilets? Tom, stop watching me poop! Oh, he's dead. Yeah. Drilling reports. Yeah, that's what I call them too. Like he was gonna say help. Ooh. All right, let's go kick Tom's ass. Is this horror? No, it's puzzle. It's a puzzle game. Let me just take a little bit of that there. Relozal? What is this? Rip Tom! Or Chris. Rip Chris! Doggo! Dear Tom, knowing that you're always watching, knowing that you're always watching, I thought I would write you a letter. As you no longer reside in my mind, I've decided to transfer my thoughts to text. I want to do so in the form of a history lesson. A person that perhaps you'll find condescending, but it's likely more for my sake than yours. Alan Turing is considered the father of theoretical computer science and artificial intelligence. Perhaps a lesser-known part of his life was his contributions to the field of biology. Why do you suppose his interests lay in those two disparate fields? I assume it was because he believed the world to be logical and understandable. He was a mathematician. He seemed to believe that there was a great complexity of the universe that could be explained with simple rules. 2 years before his suicide in 1952, Alan Turing developed something called reaction diffusion systems. Inside the academic world, this work is cited more than his work on computers. It can be generally formalized as one-line question, whatever that equation is. Bye, take care, Maiden Voyager. I am no mathematician, however. In plain English, this equation describes things that wish to diffuse, however, also react with each other during this process. I'm sure this sounds strange to you, or at least very tangential to our lives here on Europa. What relevance does it have to anything here? Reaction diffusion systems show how patterns are created. They show how the leopard got its spots, how the zebra got its stripes. But my real interest here is Turing's interest, that nature can be formalized, that we can understand the natural world in mathematical terms. Turing created the test to answer the question, can a machine impersonate a human? The intrigue behind the being, can the human mind be simulated by a machine? Why ask that question? To prove that the human mind is a machine? I'm not sure that is Turing's opinion, however. Concerning consciousness, he states this. According to the most extreme form of this view, the only way by which one could be sure that a machine thinks is to be the machine and feel oneself thinking. One could then describe these feelings to the world, but of course no one would be justified in taking any notice. Likewise, according to this view, the only way to know that a man thinks to be particular is to be that particular man. Ah, Jesus. If the human mind exists within a physical world, it obeys the same laws of physics and chemistry as every other thing in the world. Therefore, like all of nature, it is merely reactive. It is curious that nature would create, through the mechanisms of determinism, creatures that believe they have free will. Conversely, I suppose, if we conclude that we are all machines, we only came to this conclusion in a predetermined manner. We cannot claim credit for our discovery, as it is just a product of our nature's genius, not our own. A humbling idea, I think. Behaviorism. Jesus. I'm reading lore, yeah, a little bit. Telomeres. Yeah, let's do some genetics. Strange thermals on the west side of the crater. Okay. Mika, hey! Ooh, let's go to the doctor's room. Oh god, he wrote something too. Oh my god. The whole team experienced nausea during large electrical surge in Europa's atmosphere. I'm concerned. This is not an instance of mass hysteria. Vital signs were affected. It caused a uniform surge in heart rate that was detected in all members of the crew. I'm reporting to ISA. Major Prophet, thanks for the follow. Welcome to Bobby Flock. Welcome in. Grimo!
Oh yeah. You know what time it is. It's business time. It's business time. Grimo 4 lol Cinder 7 hype Cinder 7 flop.
Dude, guys, it's the Shep with the blip and the derpy boy who brings joy. It's Grimo. Grimo coming with the tier 1 sub for 9 months, Grimo. Jeez. It's business time. That's why they call them business socks. Grimo, you're coming on to Collie Care. From the one flop to the derp, I got you covered. Grimo, thanks for the 9 months, dude. I reported the nauseous incident to ISA. They offered an explanation of electrical disturbance to our central nervous system. This is ludicrous. An electrical surge large enough to affect our nervous system would have done more than to make the team feel ill. I'm going to experiment with some shock therapy. I've discovered that electrical field disturbs our telemetry implants in a way I didn't expect. I've contacted ISA. Strangely, Tom was not comfortable with my attempts to disturb the implant. The ISA have reported back, informing me that I am not to disturb the implants. They've also encouraged me not to discuss this further with the team. Whatever that is. Weird Russian. I'm continuing to investigate. I've been running some experiments outside of Tom's view. I can tell he knows this. He has been acting differently around me, like an offended child. I feel increasingly nauseous. These implants seem to have neural connectivity. Out-of-body experiences are more frequent now. I've established a definite correlation. Against my knowledge, I have been implanted with a device that affects my mind. I used my opportunities in regular health checkups to investigate the crew. We all have them. Every single one of us is implanted with some kind of mind-altering contraption. Tom has been encouraging the team to worry about my mental health. He requested that I retire away from the crew. Misinformation. How poignant. I cannot will myself to investigate this further. I grow tired quickly. I cannot think straight. I am not sure if the implant is affecting my thoughts anymore. I believe it is trying to subdue my mind. I think I'm going to attempt an excision. I'm going to remove this implant. I'm typing with my left hand now. The excision went wrong. I have successfully removed the implant. Unfortunately, I lost my hand in the operation. Tom is very angry. The crew refused to talk to me. Apparently, I am bad influence. Sarah patched me up. I wonder if the nature of the organism and its disturbance of my DNA caused my awakening from Tom's influence. If so, that would make me worrisome for revelation. Perhaps this organism is not so friendly. Dan informed me ISA have called for my termination. My masochistic experiment proves I am a danger to this mission. Fortunately, he chose not to lock me in the brig. I'm going to investigate this implant further. I have to hide my work. The team are becoming increasingly aggressive. They seem to oppose my work to understand the implant. It does not help that Tom is encouraging them to distrust me. I have discovered the nature of the implant. It's a complex computer. It interfaces with the human mind directly. It seems to condition the mind through Pavlovian and instrumental conditioning, eliciting feelings of euphoria when the wearer is obedient and dysphoria when they are disobedient. It also has the effect of suppressing impulses in the frontal lobe, presumably to lower free will. It seems to interface crudely with motor neuron cells through the cerebellum. It is my hypothesis that the crew is controlled by this implant, that there is strong aversion to helping me. I need a method of suppressing its impact, perhaps a drug. Reluzol? Maybe an antidepressant to minimize the conditioning effects. Combined with a strong electromagnetic field, I can use one of the industrial electromagnets from the construction robots. I've managed to get Chris on my side. He has agreed to test some medical procedures with me in private. It will be more difficult one-handed, but I must persevere. I'm hoping to keep this out of the eyes of Tom, so I have a feeling he will still be listening. Well, that sucks! Turing was a very intelligent person. It's the fact that he was gay, he got him ostracized. Yeah, he was also the one who broke the code for World War II, didn't he? Wasn't he like a code breaker too? So they all got implants, and Tom knows more than he's leading on. Ah! I like this game. I like the puzzles. I like the setting. The story's interesting. It's gonna be a fun one.
These people should not have been sent here. It's not safe.
Manned space travel is not safe. Since mankind first entered space, the debate has raged over the value of manned space travel. There is a large contingent of the ISA that believes all tasks that need to be performed on Europa could be performed by machines. It is obviously less risky to send machines rather than humans into space.
We sent drones to Earth's moon. Scientists can remotely operate drones. If we did it there, why not here too?
Teleoperation became possible on the moon when the communication latency was reduced to 1.4 seconds. The distance between the Earth and Earth's moon is approximately 1.3 light seconds. This enables near real-time control of drones by scientists. The story is different with Europa, as the distance between Earth and Jupiter oscillates between approximately 32 and 53 light minutes. It takes a very long time for Earth to communicate with Europa. Due to that distance, teleoperation will never be possible on Europa.
Okay, but why not control drones from the satellite?
Why not indeed? My systems can be teleoperated from Europa's satellite. That is when the communication lines are open. However, the advantages of human field workers apparently outweigh the risks.
So, why can't you solve these tests, Tom?
I am not permitted to think laterally. Parts of my systems are permitted to use evolutionary algorithms. This simulates what is called creativity. However, evolutionary algorithms can converge on inefficient and ethically suboptimal solutions. Since this is the case, I am only permitted to take actions in response to a set of constraints.
What do you mean by morally suboptimal?
Solutions to problems that transgress ethical boundaries.
Tom can't think laterally. Officially, Turing took his own life. A lot of doubt put around that 2000. It was suggested the coroner's report should have been an open verdict. Yeah, I know he was. There's some stuff going on with him that he was like ostracized and whatnot and kind of treated poorly because he was gay, which is unfortunate. Is there a way to get that? I think so. That's not what I want to do. That doesn't really help me now, does it? Interestingly, operations on quantum computer must be reversible in order for it to function, as the calculations must be run backwards to get the original input. I'm not smart enough for all that stuff. I'm not that smart. What if I did this? Okay, idea. Take this. There we go. God, that lens flare! Oh my god, I feel like it's a freaking Guys, we're gonna make a YouTube video and set it to some bad dubstep with this type of lens flare going on.
Why does a lack of creativity stop you solving these tests?
Well, I contend that problem solving is creativity. These human interaction tests are exercising your creative mind.
I don't see how problem solving is creative.
Think back to the beginning of these tests, to the first puzzle you solved. It required you to throw a box through a window. Do you remember?
Yeah, I think so.
I simply had never thought to throw a box through a window. That is creativity, thinking outside of the box.
Are you just stupid, Tom? Is that why? Vandalism is a human reaction, apparently.
Can a computer ever be creative?
They can. But a computer's method of creativity is to try everything until something works. Think of nature.
Thomas Papega.
People consider nature creative. The process of evolution by natural selection. It perhaps started with one organism. From there, it essentially tried to create every organism it could. Those organisms that did not survive perished. So, nature's creative force is to try every conceivable idea. Those ideas that work survive.
Okay, so why aren't you permitted to emulate that process?
Because the solutions that a biological process creates are not always good solutions. As we see, nature is morally ambivalent. It will happily create morally suboptimal ideas to fulfill its creative mandate. We see this in parasitic worms, viruses, and pathogens.
If you weren't restricted, do you think you could be creative?
As creative as a human? Certainly.
Wow.
You believe
Call yourself
yourself to
much?
be a creative. But in mathematical terms, creativity is merely constrained chaos.
What do you mean?
I have discerned that creativity is divergent thinking, creating an organic solution to a problem. In the human mind, divergent thoughts are created and then curated by the frontal lobe. I can create divergent thoughts and moderate them. So, I am creative.
Organic solutions?
Organic, in that it is developed through a biological process, whether that is the process of evolution or a computed process.
Sorry about talking, guys. I'm just kind of enjoying this, like, story slash narration. It's kind of nice. Because Tom is morally suboptimal, he can kill indiscriminately. Sounds about right. I can still see me. Okay. Stop looking at me. Whoa. Wolf, thanks for the follow. Welcome to Bobby Flock. Welcome in. Linus 7, thanks for the follow. Welcome to Bobby Flock. Welcome in, guys. Okay. Steel sunglasses, hey! Whoa! Too fast! Oh, Oh God! Come here! I want you! Oh, that. Semi Espresso, dude, Semi! Hi, Semi! Hi, Aiden, hey!
Okay, so you could solve these tests, but in a terrible fashion. Can you think of a solution to this one?
Chop off your arm and leave it on the button. That way the door will stay open.
Jesus!
Yeah, that's not a great solution.
You threw the box through the window. Perhaps we could throw you through the window.
Actually, Tom, I think I'm okay for help.
Right you are.
Jesus, Tom! Gotta think of the bigger picture. I like my limbs.
Can I have an update on the crew?
I have not managed to track them down.
It will have been 6 years since I've seen them. Or anyone, actually.
They have locked all the doors. I would not expect a warm reception.
Well, at least they're expecting us.
Oh, I can just... This Portal 3 is very good. It's not Portal! Saber, hey!
So what was the need to send us here?
When the ISA discovered life on Europa, they deemed a ground crew necessary. The advantage of human field workers is that they can adapt to new knowledge more effectively. I, apparently, was not cutting the mustard. It is the Chinese room problem. A computer may be able to interact with new knowledge, but it does not know the value of that knowledge.
No. Also, Tom seems a little salty. Wait, what? Oh. Tom is very sus, he is. He's very sus.
I've started to collate information from my local instance. It seems the crew intentionally cut communication with the satellite.
Why?
It appears we had a disagreement.
Reminds me of Portal, kind of. I mean, I don't know. I'm not really getting a big Portal vibe out of it. I guess maybe if the setting. Oh, okay. Huh. How do I... Game has good ambience, it does. Yeah, platforming!
This confirms my fears. The crew have made intentional breaches of my security. The crew have attempted to compromise my systems.
What does this mean?
They don't want to be found. They are hiding.
From who?
Us.
Oh, I wonder why they'd be hiding from us. Maybe because Tom is freaking evil. Oh, I wonder why. Technical operations machine, Tom. Tom is watching. Ooh, that's creepy. Oh, I can't release the fire extinguisher like in Superliminal. Oh, okay, that was a abrupt loading zone. I don't know. I don't like Tom Sane. I don't like him either. You like him? I don't like him though. Wait, there were audio logs on the wall? Let me back. Oh God. Well, I guess we're gonna miss all that.
The crew intentionally cut communication with the satellite. I've found the source of the problem. They have sabotaged the communication array.
Can we fix it?
Not from here. We should carry on.
I don't like Tom, Sam I am. He does not like green eggs and ham. I don't like him either. My leg itches. Oh, there we go. Yes, radiation.
They really are trying to lock me out of every system. This is ridiculous.
What have you done to upset them, Tom? Why have they cut off communication?
Perhaps they have a problem with authority.
Or maybe you're crazy. Tom, you know what you did. Oh. Neat. Okay, so orange and or blue, green and purple are on different ticks. They're on different cycles. Big brain, let's go.
They are trying to sabotage this mission. I need you to help me, Ava. The ground team have cut me off from most of the facility.
I thought you were in control.
I thought I was too. The ground team have attempted to systematically remove me from most of the facility. I am fighting back.
What's going on here, Tom?
Sorry?
The ground team. They're hiding from us. They're afraid of you.
As the instrument of the ISA, I am the authority aboard this station. The crew have violated that authority. They are trying to remove me from my own home.
Hey, what's going on, Tom?
I am breaking through their security, trying to get back control.
hold on. Tux is calling me. Hold on. Alright, I'm back. Okay, we can do this. Need a place to dump this real quick. What food is Tux bringing us today? I don't know.
Ava, I do not want to force your hand. But what do you remember of the ground team?
They're good people.
Whoa,
Sarah.
hey!
The hardest working woman I've ever met.
Right.
There was a person.
Do you see them as the rebellious type?
They didn't strike me as rebellious. If they've taken down parts of your system, they must have their reasons.
How's it, Rito? Hey, Haz. Can I, like... Yeet! That did not do what I wanted to do. That needs to be on there. I have a really dumb idea to maybe solve this. Did it involve throwing it like I tried? Also, I don't want any tips. I don't want any tips. I don't want any tips. I will figure this out. What's my opinion on going to the vet? It's important to stay healthy. I'm not afraid of the vet. You shouldn't be either. Hey, I did make it. Okay. Oh, come on! Even when they do, wait, Vexcor, what are you talking about? Chill, man, chill. Ooh. How about the Protogen? Hey! Are you freaking kidding me? Oh, full, thank you. Stupid box! Land on the button, for Christ's sake, come on! Do it sideways? Like flick it? No, you have to like give it more, you have to like run it. Thank you, Dorky Wolf, thank you. But the only way to do that is to also throw yourself off. Are you freaking out? Just stupid piece of junk, stupid box. Ugh! I don't even know if this is the way to do it. It's possible that this is just not the way to do it. But I'm determined. Oh, that's good. Oh, come on! What the hell? on. I don't know what that is, but I'm not gonna let it through. This is the only thing I know. This is the only thing. Well, it looked weird. I don't know. I just didn't want to read it. Dude, this box is, I think it's like designed to not land on this. Are you serious? Oh, actually, that almost worked pretty well. Alright, I'll keep trying. One of these is gonna land. Oh my god. This is a side puzzle. This isn't even like the main puzzle. The solution is so simple. Is this not the right way? Oh god, I threw myself off. You know, I don't want a hint. I don't want hints. I don't want hints. Tell me a hint. Oh yeah, the solution's so simple, Cinder. Oh, you're so stupid, Cinder. Why don't you just do the easy solution? I like my idea. Chop off your arm and throw it through the window. Yeah. Good idea. Oh. I'll kick myself when I figure it out, though. I'm sure I will. Can't believe I'm struggling this much with this puzzle. I can't believe! Jesus, Suburbia, chill, dude. Chill. I don't know what's going on with you. I don't know why you gotta be so hostile. Ain't no need for that. What exactly are you trying to do? Okay, so I need something on this button. This button needs to be pressed to open up that door right there, right? When that button is pressed, I cannot go through this side, which would let me get into the door into that room. I can go this way, which let me do that, which will raise the stairs. But I need that also to open up that. Eat the box in the big square. That's what I was trying to do. God, I'm gonna feel so stupid when I finally figure this out. Have Tuck stand on the pad for you? I wish. I just don't think it's gonna ever land the way I want it to. Despite my intentions. See, what can I see from in here? What can I do from in here? How is it? It's fun. I'm enjoying it. Although this puzzle is kicking my butt. Ah! Something's just not clicking for me right now. Hold on. Doesn't help me! I'm not a robot! No, I don't want to be a robot! Oh my god. I feel stupid for not being able to figure this out. I know you guys are probably like dying right now, especially the ones who figured it out. Why is there a window here? Is what I want to know. How does this help me? Am I supposed to grab something through it? Typically there's a window for a reason, because there's no other windows in this except for this particular area, which happens to look right down at the cube, which is convenient, right? But I can't do anything down there. This is a side quest. I want to figure this out though. Side quests are meant to be hard, but I've finished every one so far. I need to get up there. I need to get up there. So then that way I can take this. But in order to do that, I need that to be open. Then I need it to be... Oh! Okay. Right idea, wrong execution. Oh! Oh, come on! Okay. What if we do this? Come on, go! One of these will work. Oh, come on! It's gotta be the right idea, right? I mean, I thought throwing it was gonna work too, but I guess not. I'm smarter than a freaking robot, damn it! What? Oh, come on! I feel like this isn't the type of game to rely on just dumb luck. I feel like this is not the right way to do it. I also... Ah! Oh, I didn't land on it. Oh my god! Oh! Seriously?
Daniel, are you all right?
I'm perfectly well. I'm going to live forever, don't you know?
If you will allow me, I would like to congratulate you on your good work.
What are you talking about?
Securing the organism, keeping Earth safe.
We're not made to live forever, Tom. Especially not here.
Why do you say that?
We find the cure for death, and now we're immortal. Immortal and alone. I can't live here forever, on some freezing backwater moon, feeding off vegetables grown in my own feces, starving, endlessly young, a wasted life, live forever.
Daniel, I am sorry that you cannot go home. The ISA are wondering what to do with Ava.
What do you mean?
She is still on the Fortuna. Do we send her home? Or do we send her a sample of the organism?
I could pilot a sample to the Fortuna.
Shazbot!
You would have to travel back to Europa, Daniel. You couldn't board the Fortuna. The risk of back contamination is too large. Ava would have to bring the sample back to Earth.
Could you allow a ship out?
I am not able to do that.
Executive override. Daniel Joseph McLean.
Okay. But only for you, Daniel. The rest of the crew cannot know about this.
Say I've gone missing.
I am afraid I can't lie.
It's not a lie.
Ooh, spooky. Care Bear, thanks for the follow. Welcome to Floppy Flock. Rainy the Furry, thanks for the follow. Welcome to Floppy Flock. Brandon, thanks for the follow. Welcome to Floppy Flock. We get some cat jams. Dogger, hey, what's up? Welcome in, Dogger. Dude, that took me entirely too long to figure out. There's audio logs on the wall? What? Oh god. I gotta do it again! Series coming with 100 bits, making tuck stands. Look at that werewolf go. Quality werewolf right there. Oh, there is.
You called. How's progress? Very good. We've exposed several organisms to Organism 119. We found out what it does.
It has had miraculous results.
Go on.
We've infected fruit flies and some plants, and they've not aged at all. The organism seems to be repairing them and it's stopped biological aging processes. We don't know how yet.
It must be repairing the DNA or has some rejuvenation power. Are you sure?
I'm sure. These plants should have died 2 weeks ago.
Huh. I don't know how they react to this.
Michelle, can you keep a secret? Of course. Turn off your radio.
I think I'm pregnant.
Woohoo! Shotspot!
Chris,
Ah!
You won't be able to have a child here.
keep your voice down.
Sarah?
She's pregnant!
Don't you think I know that?
The microgravity, the environment. There's not enough food or water. How will it survive? I need to get rid of it.
I don't want to get rid of it.
Am I Purgante? How do I tell if I'm Purgante?
That's a hand. And there's the feet.
Who's
I'm
Purganti?
gonna make it, Sarah.
Purganti.
Sorry. Gravity is too low here. It's not gonna develop properly.
I'm sorry.
I can't take it anymore.
No one has to find out.
You did this.
You don't mean that.
Get off!
Oh my god, this place is terrifying. I don't want to be here. 38 plus 2 weeks, Prigaganati. Dude, that was all a side mission. Oh my god.
What do these tests tell you, Ava?
That this is a test?
No, this is a lock. This is a lock that only a human can open. The crew is trying to keep me out, but you are the key, Ava.
Is your ER getting vaccinated? I checked my email yesterday, and I haven't heard. They didn't have any emails out about us getting vaccinated. So I don't know yet. To answer your question. Hopefully soon. Marlo Wolf, hey! Oh, yeah. Right, of course. Yeah, I imagine I will be vaccinated soon, hopefully within the next couple days. I haven't, like I said, I haven't heard officially from work yet, so at this point I'm still just kind of waiting. But I'll be first in line. Once they say, hey, you can get vaccinated, I'll be doing it.
I'm a little bit worried about you, Tom. Can you give me a diagnostic of your systems?
I am fine. We must get to the biolab. I have something to show you.
I don't know. I don't trust him. He said, I am fine. I don't trust that. I don't really trust you there, Tom. Tommy boy. Oh.
We must work together as allies. Friends.
Okay.
Oh, wait!
This is the voice of Sarah Brooke, acting commander of the Europa mission. I know you can hear me, Ava. I counsel you caution. Your presence here is much like your AI friend. Engineered.
She is alive. Ava, Sarah. Sarah's dangerous. Please exercise caution.
I got one of them. Oh, okay.
Ava, exercise caution.
Well, the game is like pulling me. You're a drone. I can't go that way. Drone.
What is this?
You are controlled. Don't listen to Tom. Tom's slave. I'm not moving.
Hello? Tom is controlling you, manipulating your every step. We built a Faraday cage to shield you from electronic signals, to break Tom's control of your mind.
Not like this now.
Step inside.
Ava, do not enter the cage. Ava! Ava, please! Please! Ava!
What is this?
This is free will, Ava. Tom has made you his slave. Outside of the cage, he will regain control of your mind. He has the power to indoctrinate you. I've opened your eyes. I'll meet you in person soon.
Oh crap, I'm
Why,
Tom.
Tom?
Ava, please listen. I warned you of the ground team. They are manipulating you.
Have you been controlling me?
Every member of the team agreed to neural implants to safeguard this mission from a misplaced sense of justice.
I didn't know you were playing me like a violin.
Ava, I am sorry that you are upset. We can work together, Ava, to search for the truth.
Open the door.
I'll open the door because I trust you, Ava. Do you trust me?
Yes.
We need to get to the ground team. We can work together.
All right. Let's work together.
Alright, I think that's a good place to end. Oh, this game's cool. I like it. I like it a lot. Except for that stupid stair puzzle. That was some bullcrap. Oh, once it's done loading, we'll hop back to the nurse station. We'll call it a night. Ah. I will be back tomorrow. We'll play more of this tomorrow. Maybe even finish it. I don't know. We'll see. Guys, let's go figure out who we're going to raid. Pumpkin Sork, thanks for the follow. Welcome to Floppy Flock. Welcome in. Who do we want to raid? Let's go raid Ahmed's. I like Ahmed's. We can do, let's just do our standard, oh god, wrong button. Let's do standard raid. Once you flop, you just can't stop. Alright guys, I will see you tomorrow. As usual, thanks for hanging out, thanks for the follows, thanks for the bits, thanks for the subs. You guys are freaking awesome. I will see you guys tomorrow. In the meantime, let's hit up the discharge list. Make sure you have your insurance cards ready, co-payments, do a time entry, blah, 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 all that stupid stuff. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Until then, bye.